Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. Each week we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are taking a look inside the Disney Vault as we take a look at the animated classic Lady and the Tramp. And if you are enjoying these videos, please do hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Lady and the Tramp. This movie was released on June 22nd, 1955. For those of you that are Disney enthusiasts, that is 1 month before Disneyland opened. This was directed by Clyde Germani, Wilfred Jackson, and Hamilton Luske, and it is based on Happy Dan, the Cynical Dog by Ward Green. The production company for this movie was Walt Disney Pictures, being distributed by Buena Vista Film Distribution. The budget for this movie was $4 million, and it had a box office return of $187 million. So before we look into the film itself, let's take a look at the development. In 1937, story artist Joe Grant came up with an idea inspired by his English Springer Spaniel named Lady, and how she got shoved aside when Joe had a baby of his own. He approached Walt Disney with a set of story sketches of ladies, and Walt enjoyed the sketches and commissioned Grant to develop an animated feature called Lady. The story would be worked on by Grant and other animators throughout the 30s and 40s, but the story was not appealing to Walt. Lady was always too sweet and not enough action in the story. Walt then read a story in Cosmopolitan magazine called Happy Dan, the Cynical Dog, which was published in 1945. He thought that the Lady film would be improved if Lady fell in love with a cynical dog, so he bought the film rights to the article. The cynical dog character went through several iterations of names, including Homer, Rags, and Bozo, before Tramp was finally chosen. The script continued to go through development with numerous changes, including two possible suitors for Lady competing with Tramp, one of them being a Russian dog named Vadomir. Originally, Lady was to have one neighbor as well named Hubert, but that was replaced with two dogs named Jock and Trusty. Several characters also went through changes, including Aunt Sarah being softened to bring more human, and Lady's owners' names originally were Jim, Brown, and Elizabeth, but that was changed to maintain the dog's point of view, so they were named Jim Dear and Darling. The film's opening sequence was inspired by Walt Disney's own personal life when he bought his wife Lily a chow puppy in a hat box as a forgive-me present for missing a dinner date. Peggy Lee was also brought on to not only compose 6 songs for the movie, but she also was providing character voices, including the voice of Darling, Peg, and the Siamese cat twins. So Grant would leave the studio in 1949, and this was unfortunate because a novelization of the film was released 2 years before the movie came out, and Walt insisted that this happen so that the audience would become familiar with the characters. But because of the book coming out, Grant did not end up getting story credit for the movie. Current animator and Disney legend Eric Goldberg did rectify this fact years later, though, when doing a behind-the-scenes interview for Lady and the Tramp. He made sure that Joe Grant did get the story credit. In terms of animation, the animators would actually study different types of dogs during production. They would even bring dogs into the studio so they could watch how they move. And you can definitely see this in the final film as you see the animators kind of using the inspiration of live-action dogs. Initially, the most famous scene of the movie originally wasn't going to be in the movie. The spaghetti eating scene was cut during storyboard sessions as Walt thought it was too silly, and however, Frank Thomas went against Walt's wishes and animated the entire sequence himself. When Walt saw it, he was very impressed, and that he kept it in the film. And originally, Disney legend Mary Blair was going to do the background art, but unfortunately she left the studio in 1953 to become a children's book illustrator, so Claude Coates would instead take over the background art. And during Lady and the Tramp, Walt Disney was also busy building Disneyland, as we mentioned before, and a lot of the elements of Main Street USA can be seen in the hometown of Lady and the Tramp. And then Lady and the Tramp would be the first animated film to be filmed in CinemaScope. This was because not all theaters were able to accommodate the widescreen process, Walt would release the film in two formats, both widescreen and the normal ratio. So now that we know the production, let's take a look at the cast. So we have Barbara Luddy, who provides the voice of Lady, Larry Roberts, who provides the voice of Tramp, Bill Thompson provides the voice of Jock, Bill Bucom, who provides the voice of Trusty, Verna Felton is the voice of Aunt Sarah, George Jivett, the voice of Tony, Lee Miller as Jim Deere, singer Peggy Lee as Darling, Cy, Am, and Peg, and then finally we have a Warner Brothers staple, Stan Freberg, who does the voice of the Beaver. So now that we know the players, let's take a look at the plot. So overindulged in a sweet life of luxury and a perfect home in a turn-of-the-century neighborhood, the cute little English Cocker Spaniel Lady sees her world turn upside down when her loving owners have their first baby. All alone in the town's dangerous streets, the fair lady finds solace in the shape of the most unexpected ally, the bright-eyed and streetwise mutt from the wrong side of the tracks, Trump, utterly aware, however, that it is an unlikely romance will soon form. But do opposites really attract? So this film has a definite legacy within the Walt Disney Company. In Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, on Main Street, there is Tony's Town Square Restaurant, a sit-down Italian restaurant where the decor is inspired from Lady and the Tramp. In the lobby, there is a portrait of both Lady Tramp and their puppies, as well as you can look through the back window and see Lady and the Tramp and on their famous date. Disneyland Paris also has a restaurant themed to Lady and the Tramp called Pizzeria Bella. And then the spaghetti scene has been parodied in several TV shows, including The Simpsons, Recess, Phineas and Ferb, and Gravity Falls. In 1955, a comic book spin-off was created called Scamp, and this followed the adventures of one of Lady's puppies, and the issues ran until 1988. Lady would also make a cameo appearance in the film 101 Dalmatians. During the Twilight Bark sequence, Lady and Peg can be seen as dogs helping pass on the message. And then the song Bella Notte was performed on the TV show Glee in Season 2, Episode 2, as a tribute to the film. Unfortunately, in 1991, singer Peggy Lee sued the Walt Disney Company for breach of contract, as she claimed that she retained the rights to the transcripts for the songs that she had co-wrote, including those used for home video releases. So after a lengthy court battle, she was awarded $2.3 million. So this film also has a sequel. On February 27, 2001, Disney Television Animation released a direct-to-video sequel called Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure. We will cover that in a separate video. And then, as part of the inauguration of Disney Plus, on November 12, 2019, the live-action remake Lady and the Tramp was released as a Disney Plus exclusive. So would I recommend this movie? I definitely think this is a Disney classic that's often overlooked because it does involve princesses or characters that are regularly seen in the park. I think the story is well told and it's engaging with the audience, despite being a very simple story. I think the background paintings are beautiful, and it shows how animation and CinemaScope can create very beautiful pieces of art. I definitely recommend, if you have this on DVD, or even Disney Plus actually, that you pause at certain points of the background, and some of the backgrounds are just stunning, some of the background paintings. I love the animation as well. For example, the spaghetti scene, you can see the subtlety in the way that Lady begins to fall in love with Tramp throughout the whole spaghetti eating scene. I like when the dogs actually kiss, like Lady bows her head kind of in a, that she's still a lady, and she doesn't kiss on the first date. So I thought that was very clever. Another great scene is there is a scene where Tramp wakes up in the morning and you can see the animation on the stretch. It's just very beautifully done. Overall, definitely recommend this movie, as I think the characters are endearing and the story is well told, and it's a simple, beautiful showcase of animation as an art form. So definitely recommend that you check this out. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigations. Please leave a comment below on what you think of Lady and the Tramp, or what is your favorite moment from Lady and the Tramp. For our next episode, we are going to continue to look at the movies of Disney Star as we take a look at the 2019 wartime drama, The Aftermath, starring Keira Knightley. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.